Yeah, my name is Young. I'm BJJ and MMA commentator in Korea. It's really nice to meet you. And you are very famous in Korea. I know you know why though, right? You beat like
Oh
all
yeah.
these prospects. Uh-huh.
Oh, awesome. Nice.
Uh-huh. They are very popular fighters, and you beat them, and people know about you, and people gonna watch your fight tomorrow. So, I'm gonna
Awesome.
ask you a few questions. And first of all, your nickname is Street Buddha, and tell me what it means.
Well, Street Buddha actually as a name just started off as a joke because like I had gotten like a like a haircut and it was a really bad haircut, so I'd
Okay.
shaved off all my hair, and then people
Okay.
were telling me I looked like a Buddha, so I ended up calling
Ah.
myself Street Buddha as a nickname. But
Uh-huh.
like to me it has a little bit of significance. Like I like to think like
Uh-huh.
kind of the balance of opposites, like
Uh-huh.
the Buddha, like being able to be like
Mhm.
calm and at peace with myself, but then
Mhm.
also like the street side, being able to be capable of the violence that we need for the
Mhm.
cage.
I saw Buddha in you when you're in real danger, like someone had your back, someone is on top, like you're like in real danger. But I saw your face, like you have nothing, and you always escape. You turn around, you get away, and because that's why I thought, okay, people call him Buddha because of that. That's what I thought. That's why I asked you that question. What are
Yeah.
you thinking when someone have your back? What are you thinking? I just want to ask you.
I'm calm. I'm calm when someone has my back. I look, I my only two losses were to
Mhm.
Quillen Salkeld, and
Mhm.
I got rear naked choked in both of them.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
since then, I've invested a lot of time in my back defense to the
Okay.
point that it's one of
Mhm.
my most dominant areas. Like I'm very confident that people aren't going to sub me from there. So when
Mhm.
someone gets my back, it's not
Mhm.
like a matter of if I'm going to escape. It's a matter of when. And when I escape, I know that because I was calm, I was relaxed, I'm going to be able to do a lot of damage on them when I get on top of them.
Okay, I saw you doing the turn. Like it was a weird angle, but you have your own angle, and I was really surprised at that. I heard you're a soccer player, and you transformed into BJJ black belt and eternal fighter, and now you're UFC fighter. And is that soccer player career is helping your MMA career?
Um, like I wouldn't say I had a career. Look, I played it a lot as a kid. I think it's really
Okay.
popular in Australia that
Okay. Of
everyone
course.
plays a lot of sports, and
Huh?
that used to be my favorite sport.
Mm-hmm.
Before I found jiu-jitsu and MMA.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I do think early on,
Mm-hmm.
having that like soccer background, I think
Mm-hmm.
helped with my leg dexterity and
Mm-hmm.
my ability to use my legs in like to play guard,
Mm-hmm.
to understand how to move my feet.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for sure. And then then I started to develop like a little bit more of a wrestling style as opposed to a guard player style, and I ended up with this nice, well-rounded grappling game.
Well, I'm very surprised. Someone said the same thing like you did. Like Jose Aldo said the same thing.
Oh
Like,
wow. Okay,
yeah, he's a
nice.
soccer player, it helped his kicks, and then he went to Nova União, he learned jiu-jitsu, and, became world champion, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, phenomenal.
I heard you train a lot, like, sometimes 3 times a day. It's a lot of train, and you talked about Mamba mentality about that, and I
Yeah.
want to, yeah, a little bit explanation on that, please.
Yeah, I think look, when I'm training, there've been times where I'll go anywhere between 3 to 5 times a day outside of
Mm-hmm.
camp.
Mm-hmm.
But I only try to do it outside of camp because I'm not thinking about the physicality of it. I'm thinking more about
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to use my mind as much as I can
Mm-hmm.
throughout each session, and I'm trying to develop
Mm-hmm.
all my skills.
Okay.
And then in camp,
Mm-hmm.
I like to reduce it back down so that I can increase the intensity. So I'll end up doing like two per day.
Okay.
Um, but I'll be going very hard in each of those sessions, and two for me
Mm-hmm.
feels like not a lot, so it kind of I get a little bit
Oh.
of a chip on my shoulder. I feel like I have to work extra hard in those sessions. And it's always funny to me when I see that, like, I'll have opponents that are training once or twice a day all year round, and yeah, I don't think that they can keep up with me when I'm
Mhm.
putting the volume in that I am.
you've been training like 2 times in your camp, right? So I was
Yep.
curious about your camp and your training partners.
Yes. Yeah. So at the beginning of when I first found out who I was fighting, like I sat down with a bunch of my team and we watched a bunch of footage and we kind of broke down
Okay.
strengths that he has, weaknesses that he has, what I should be looking at exploiting. So then between like the 8-week mark to about the 4-week mark,
Okay.
everything was very specific as like I'm fighting Cody Steele and I'm making everything that I do very specific as an anti-Cody Steele. And then from the 4-week mark till the fight, everything is just me relaxing and me just like essentially just being real playful whenever I'm sparring, whenever I'm doing my rounds and just seeing what's in front of me in that exact round and reacting to that as opposed to worrying about my opponent. I think that sometimes people get too fixated all the way up until the fight about their opponent and they forget to do what they do best. And I don't like to make that mistake. I think I'm a very hard opponent to verse. I've got a diverse skill set, and I think it would be a mistake for me to limit that and to only be a counter of my opponent. When in reality, my own catalog of skills is very high.
Speaking of striking, I saw a little bit of Taekwondo. I saw a little bit of kickboxing. I saw a little bit of like Muay Thai in your fight stance.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what kind of striking style have you trained for your MMA style?
Yeah, I've trained a lot of different styles. I'd say the most common style that I've trained is like Muay Thai. But at my gym, Team Compton, we're really big on having different experts from different fields come in, and we all kind of play together. It's all a real playful mindset where I can learn from someone who's a Taekwondo guy. I can learn from someone who's a karate guy. I could take 1 or 2 movements, or I could take a style that they do, and I could try to make it my own. And I think as a result, it's come out where it looks like I've trained all these different martial arts, but in reality, it's like I've just trained with a lot of different martial artists, and I've known how to like learn from them.
So you have that traditional mixed up style of striking, but in the real fight, you do that, but when you're so close, you go for the shoot, right? And you're really successful with your shots in your previous fights. And Cody Steele is he goes for the shot too, right? Then how have you prepared for his wrestling technique?
Yeah, like I'll always be preparing in all aspects of mixed martial arts. I think sometimes Cody decides to strike. I think sometimes Cody decides to grapple. I think he's got skills everywhere. But I think something I'm very good at is deciding wherever the fight goes. So I think I can make a read on the night. I can feel where his skills are. If he's feeling sharp in the striking, I might take him down. If he's feeling sharper in the grapple, I'll keep it away and I'll keep it standing. In my last fight, I showed that I can keep a fight standing if I need to. Like Kim Song-wook has some very, very phenomenal grappling skills. So I felt a huge advantage in the striking those. So I was able to keep it there for pretty much the whole fight. So yeah, I think, he's got some wrestling. I do actually think I'm a better wrestler than him, but I don't think it's going to be a problem for me.
Okay. You said you wanted to get that 100K bonus in the interview. What do you want to do if you get that bonus?
To be honest, not a lot exciting. I think I'd probably try to get a home loan for an investment property and something like that. I like to be safe with my money, or maybe I'd use it for like a little bit of travel and training. I'm not the type of guy that likes fancy cars or likes fancy clothes. I'm the type of guy that's very simple. I just like to train. I like to eat food a lot. But even the foods that I like I'd just pay for like a nice steak or something. I wouldn't go to a crazy expensive steakhouse or anything, So I don't know. I'd probably save it. It's a boring answer, but I'd save the money.
Wasn't boring. It's really realistic. I'm running amateur MMA fighter organization called KMMA, and there's so many fighters who wants to be in UFC in the future. So do you have any advice for them?
Yeah, I would say through my years of MMA and training, and I've met so many phenomenal training partners and practitioners. Without a doubt, it is always the people that are the most committed that make it in the long run to the UFC. That I've met so many people that are phenomenally talented, way more talented than I ever was, and they don't end up in the same position that I ended up in. And it's something I used to always hear people say, you know, like talent, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. But I really do believe it nowadays. It's like, it's hard work over everything.
Thank you. One last question. I saw you watching Korean Zombie interview YouTube content. Do you want to say anything to him?
I would say his fighter was phenomenal. Jae-Hoon Park was phenomenal. They did such a good job. I actually was crazy impressed. I was thinking in the fight, it felt like they had game planned really, really well for me. I remember thinking some of my best things weren't working very well on him. And I remember thinking, oh, okay, they've done an entire game plan against me. So I made a conscious decision to bring some stuff out in that fight that I had never shown in previous fights. But they're really great. I'd love to go over there and train with them sometime. I think really? they look like they're doing some great stuff over there. Yeah. I'd love to get some training in with them. They're awesome.
Okay. Thank you for the interview. And for the Korean fans, the last question. There are Korean fans know you. I told you, you already beat two of them. And Cody still, his mom is Korean. So maybe you're beating three Koreans in consecutively. But is there any message you have to say to Korean fans?
Yeah, I'd say it's not my fault. The UFC keep putting me against them. I gotta fight whoever's in front of me. The UFC don't like them. They keep matching them up against me. It's not my fault.
Thank you so much. You have next interview waiting for you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, have fun. That was great. Thank you.
Thank you so much, man. It's nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you. Bye-bye. Next time.
Bye.